All right, my friends, I spoil you, absolutely spoil you with these three exclusive YouTube casts today. I mean, one's gonna go up earlier than the other, but I gotta go to sleep. So I'll get the other ones out tomorrow. Spawning though in the bottom left from Romania, I want to say it is the Infernals player nightend, and spawning in the right, the Celestials player. Oh, that was cool. Whoa, I've never seen this before. You can research stuff out of this? Okay, this is new. I'm like blown away. I swear, like I've never seen this before in my life. I'm too interested. Okay, spawning in the top right, the Celestial player from Bulgaria, maybe. I'm not exactly sure, and I'm sorry if I said that wrong. It is, and this I'm going to say wrong too, absolutely. Micuki. Micuki is what that's how I'm going to say that. I don't think that's right, but that's how I'm going to do that, guys. So, Micuki, I'm sorry, my friend. Ooh. Okay, I want to see what this is. Let's see. Increase the movement speed of arc ships, arc stations, and morph cores by 50%. So we get a little bit faster. This is clearly a big morph core rush. I haven't seen this forever, actually. I thought this got nerfed to hell. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I thought this got nerfed to hell, my friends. But instead, it is continuing. Sorry, just making sure. I actually casted an entire series on the wrong screen today, so that didn't help with the fact that I need to go to sleep. So we are attacking the imps, I guess. I mean, we have some shroud stones going down as well. Honestly, I thought this got pretty severely nerfed, but I wouldn't really be able to tell you how. I see a creation chamber on the back too. I mean, hey, if these guys just want a game like this, I'm down for this. This will make this series faster. So then I can go to sleep earlier. So yeah. Come on, guys, let's do it. We got 4 morph cores. We've got the arc ship, which I don't even think has an attack, but I don't actually know that for sure. It looks like we probably did kill a couple of imps. We throw down another creation chamber, so that's going to be 2 over here. We're getting Argents as well. Like, I mean, clearly this is a rush, guys. We're Russian. I know I said he was Bulgarian, but are you sure he's not Russian? Badoom boom shh. Because he's Russian to finish this game. Sorry, I didn't finish that joke before I did the badoom boom shh. But you guys get it. Let's see. We throw down the Link node as well, because this faction, is basically just Protoss Cannon Rush on steroids. But yeah, okay, so we are getting Argents. Nightend does have units, though. Unfortunately, it's none that shoot up. I don't know. Like, I'm assuming that's not good, but Micuki, probably not. There's not another C, but I want it to be Micuki. Micuki is definitely going to have a hard time holding this position. He is building a strike node coming out. I didn't actually see if that brute died or if it was purposefully turned into fiends. This strike node is not going to finish. I wonder if you get the money refunded just from doing that. I didn't notice. I should have noticed. We get an Argent being built. There's yeah, that's it. So we get an Argent being built. Oh, there it is. It hasn't been finished yet. The morph cores are doing a pretty good job of dealing with all these units that don't shoot up. The only unit that does shoot up is the Hexen. You can see it in the left corner, just kind of lobbing bombs. We forced out 3 Shroud Stones, but I think that's going to be a pretty good job of dealing with that. Nightend sends double Brute on top of the Argents. The Argent's going to have to continuously kite backwards or die. The Brute does do 20 damage. That's a fair amount. It does 20 damage, and when it dies, it spawns fiends, which is not great. This whole area is being routed. The buildings that were down here are all destroyed. Now it's just the creation chamber by itself. There is a creation chamber over here, which I don't think Nightend's seen, but I don't know how much that really is going to matter. He obviously went for the brute opening on purpose. I mean, it kind of makes sense in the fact that they do a pretty good job tanking. If they do catch up, they do a fair amount of damage, and then when they die, they do turn into the fiend, so they're able to be a little bit faster, get a little bit more hits off. But you can't deal with the morph core. That's the one thing I'm not exactly sure how we're eventually going to kill the morph core. Maybe you just don't kill the morph core and you go off of the fact that you have the shroud stones going. I mean, he's getting concave now, so maybe he's going to try and kill the morph core with the gaunts eventually. But this Argent is dying. We're going to get a Link node again, so I'm assuming we're going to turn that into a strike node, and we're going to try to almost cannon rush the Therium, maybe to try and stop some of the some gaunts coming out. But now we're on top of the creation chamber. I'm not sure if he just that might be his first time actually seeing it. I don't know. But we have we have 1 Argent with no energy out. We're literally just focusing down the creation chamber. The link node has not started transforming into anything else, which means that this is not going to be like a safe haven or anything to try and fall back to. GG will get played, gets called by Micuki, and we're going into game number 2. Oh, I'm screwing this up. There we go. Game number 2. Sorry, it's been a long day. It's been a long day. It's a late night. Late night for poor old Mac, who is an old man who gets up early. So yes. Oh, I should change the screen so I don't cast the entire game stupidly. Oh man, that was frustrating, guys. That was frustrating. Okay, it's a best of 3. Spawning in the bottom left with the the Morph Core Rush, I guess it was called. With the Morph Core Rush in game number 1, it is a Micuki. No, Micuki. And spawning in the top right with a great defense. Currently up 1-0, getting revelated. I don't know why that early. Oh, I guess because you want to see what the first choice maybe is. It is nightend. First production facility choice, maybe? That might matter a little bit more in this matchup. I don't actually know. I feel like vectors are what we normally see, but I don't remember them actually being in CVI. I definitely remember them being in CVV. CVI, I can't remember necessarily them being in there. Looks like we send the skull to do a little bit of scouting to see if there is anything over here. There's not. The Morph Core instead is choosing to take this position over here. We're also going triple prism. So there are 3 prisms right here, which are all going to be mining simultaneously. And we've got the meat farm as well as the concave. We're continuing on. We're going to recall our hexen over here. We don't need to see any more, says my friend nightend. I wonder if he's going to be 4th place because Nightmare was 4th place last season. I wonder if nightend is going to be 4th place this time. The Knights just kind of do well, but Knight as in N-I-G-H-T, not K-N-I-G-H-T. So now we are continuing to do a little bit of damage here. I wonder if we can, maybe we can't send another skull because we used it as a scouting skull. There is another one. What blam? We did get the fiend. So we've bolted our units by 2 fiends. We got 2 gaunts. We are throwing down an iron vault. Micuki, on the other hand, is getting the creation chamber, as you would expect. He's also got the base that is relatively well defended in the sense that, like, you can't. There's no, like, ramp or anything on the way up. I don't even actually know. Like, I guess you have to drop up there, or you, like, stay on the low ground and you get high ground vision or something like that. I don't really know how you're supposed to be able to do that there. Nightend is moving out on the map here, though. He's going to try to take the vision camp, and then presumably we're going to go to the, I don't know, maybe energy camp or something like that. 1 gaunt, very low. We're going to pull that bad boy gaunt back. I didn't actually get to see how much, or how low the HP was. I clicked on it, but I didn't get to see it. And then, oh, we lost the gaunt. Unfortunate. That's not supposed to happen. So we do lose the gaunt there. We lost the gaunt. At the same time, we're getting an Ascension Matrix. Starforge. So this is going to be the Vecties. So we're getting the vectors this time. We're getting recall very quickly. We only have the singular one as of right now. I don't think it wants to fight these slimes by itself. Oh, no, it does. I lied. It wants to fight the slimes by itself. There's no repair for this race, so I'm not really sure how we're going to get this health back. I guess we're not going to. So we take a fair amount of damage on there. Oh, right. Never mind. I forgot. The arc ship can heal. Right. We get an expand coming out of nightend, and we are taking the energy tower just like I had guessed. Now we get another vector, and they do not have recall, so they still don't have recall. Just kind of throwing that out there. They still do not have recall, but we're also able to heal with the health tower. I didn't even think about that. I forgot that the health tower exists. So we are able to heal with the health tower as well. No big deal. Should be fine. We're continuing to build more vectors. And the recall abilities may be about 80% of the way done, maybe 85% of the way done. Vectors are going to move across the map. We are moving past this. We're actually just going to run directly into the army. Recall is still not finished. That was a big blink forward. Now it's finished. Just kind of throwing that out there, but it is finished. This unit will take 50% bonus damage from attacks and can recall to its. Oh, it takes 50% more bonus damage. I didn't know that. Allow this unit returning them to the previous location with the original health. Yeah, okay, fair enough. So now we have done this, so we're going to be able to just kind of pick off some units or do a little bit of damage, and then you can see as they come back, they get their health back, etc., etc. It seems ridiculously good. I don't know why not all the Celestials do this. That's what I would do if I was a Celestial player, is I would exclusively play this. Let's see, we do the big blink forward, the big recall forward, whatever, and now we are really just kind of saving our units. We are picking units off as well. I don't think, oh, we have Plague Axe. I didn't even notice. So he's got an early Plague Axe here from nightend. Nightend's got an early Plague Axe. There it is. But it only works if you actually kill units, which is the tricky part, because it's a lot harder, honestly, since they just get their health back, and then they can just easily but surely shave units off there. Fighting even on the effigy, because we're an absolute Chad from Micuki, and yeah, he just kind of eats them up. Yum, yum, yum. Taking some more of the creep camps as well. Going to be able to take the vision camps. Both of the vision camps, honestly. Not that I think it's a absolute necessity, but he's going to take both of the vision camps. Get a couple of more Star Forges, or sorry, get a couple more Vipers. We're going to blink into the main base. There's actually not a lot of imps here. I don't know where they are. We're going to get out of there with almost everything. Keep a lot of the units at almost full health or very close to full health. And nightend's supply is just atrocious. I'm not sure what he's supposed to do about this. He's got no static D over here. He realizes that himself, throws down the Shroud Stone. Lucky for him, Micuki is actually just kind of continuously attacking the same place. This has been looking like a completely different game. I think this was a significantly better choice than the build order choice of game number 1. Very, very smart of Micuki to just kind of do this. It looks like the game's over. There was a no GG, actually. That's the first time in the tournament that is no GG. Maybe they don't realize that they can do that. We're going to be moving on to game number 3. It's a rubber match, my friends. Game number 3 of this intense CVI series. And the last exclusive that I'm casting tonight, so I can just kind of go to bed after I upload it. Whew, yeah, looking forward to that. Like, bed, that is. Alright, it's a best of 3 on Titan's Causeway, spawning in the bottom left. It's essentially now just a best of 1 from Romania. It's our pal nightend. And spawning in the top right, moving his units out, but presumably not doing another rush. No, I don't think so. It is the Bulgarian, maybe. It is Micuki. Oh, man. Okay, now I gotta check. I feel bad. I feel bad that I don't know. Let me see. Belarus. Yeah, no, I'm an idiot. Not Bulgarian. Belarus. That's me. I'm a dumbass. We all knew that already. But okay, so we're really opening up this little highway. I'm not sure exactly why. Maybe to take down the slimes. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just looking. Ooh, my hair. My hair looks like it's been a long day. Let's see. So we are getting an Iron Vault. Getting a Fast Expand. Wonder if that was faster than the Iron Vault. Presumably not. Let's see. We are recalling our Hexen back. I'm not sure what we saw, what we didn't see there. I mean, none of this means anything to me anyways. But honestly, if I was Micuki, I would just get vectors again. That's what I would do. I would just get more vectors and go from there. Honestly, they were so powerful that that's what I would do. Honestly, I don't know. That's what I would do. I'm a special little guy. So we are taking Brute, but we're actually taking an absolute huge amount of damage on our Hex, and I don't think we want to lose that. We're going to pull it back at the last second, and it actually does survive with 15 HP. So that's great. Good for him. Nightend is actually going to keep that alive, presumably sending it to one of the flowers. I don't know the flower locations. Yes, he did. And he gets the creep camp, but he loses both fiends for his trouble. So he doesn't really bolster his army. Sorry, booster. He doesn't really bolster his army all that much. At the same time, we're getting the creation chamber, and I mean, it seems like with the power bank, maybe we're just really easy to take, or it is really easy to take this, maybe. Or we're getting Starforge, and the power bank is just to kind of keep us in the green, perhaps. I don't really know. Second Starforge already. Not building any vectors, can't really afford them. Nightend, on the other hand, is taking another creep camp. He's just kind of creep camping up like a mad lad here. The skull misses, or there it is. So the skull hits finally, or not finally. Finally, maybe kind of indicates that he missed a bunch. Just kind of went over once. Not a big deal. So it does gonna get it. We're gonna bolster our force with one extra fiend, maybe one extra fiend. There it is, and we're gonna be slightly faster. Look at us being as fast as one could possibly be. We're basically little flashes as we move across the map, slightly quicker. We get some gaunts joining our fun as well, and a ritual chamber, because we had a very early plague axe, even though that didn't go great for us because the control on the vectors were so good. Recall, though, on the other hand, is only kind of just begun, so we don't really have a lot of potential here. Presumably we went back to heal this. Oh no, never mind. Instead, we are attacking with our next vector that has come out. The vector is very wounded once again, honestly. I don't know. I guess this is like really not that big of a deal because, I mean, it is the health tower. So as long as you do hold and take it, you're going to be able to get health back, right? Like that's kind of the idea. You just sit there and you do better. And you can also heal with the units, right? And the power bank gets that back, etc., etc. We are about like 70% of the way into recall over here. I don't know if it's looking to take, like, I don't really know what these units out here like doing, or sorry, I don't really know what these units out here are doing really. Maybe they're trying to stop the creep camp from being taken, or they just want to do a little bit of the monster mash. But we get a big blink forward here. We're gonna see almost the exact same thing. We just gotta make sure that we do not lose any of them from Micuki. So as you can see, very, very similar. Just kind of shredding or shedding off units, actually taking an amazing fight, not losing a single vector as far as I can see. And this is going incredibly well, just like last game. Micuki is gonna push the army of nightend back and just kind of eat them up. He is a girly, and he's going to be eating him up as he comes in. I mean, that Hexen is so wounded. I would love it if we could click on it. We do a big blink forward instead, and this is looking very similar to game number 2, honestly. Vectors seem like they are strong. And, again, I ask myself, why don't all of the Celestial players do this? I mean, maybe it's a little bit challenging with the micro, etc., etc. But even we're going to be able to take the tower here, the health tower. I don't even think our opponent can even let us take that. Like, if we were to get it, we'd be way too powerful. Instead, we're going to come in, and we're going to attack him on his own turf. Ooh, the Super Shroud Stone does come down. I think that's really the only thing that saves our life there. The entire army likely would have been routed if we didn't throw that Super Shroud Stone down. This is a big infest, though, and we can't really come back from that. So this is going to be taking a little bit of damage. Maybe we have to go home, lick our wounds in our health tower, perhaps. Because there's no way that we're going to recall back into that. We haven't really lost any extra health or anything like that. And nightend gets to breathe a sigh of relief, even though he is quite low in supply. Let's see, what is this? This is Reaper Rush. So we already have Plague Axes, but the problem with Plague Axe, I mean, it infests obviously on hit and stuff like that, so that's nice, does a little bit of extra damage. But the problem with Plague Axe is that you don't really get your fiends if you can't kill your opponent's stuff. We're still making vectors, but I feel like we should have more. Oh, okay. We had the boys healing, I suppose. So the boys were healing over there. We're going to take a second speed camp, so we're going to have both of the speed camps, honestly, which is not bad in any way, shape, or form. If we take a look, I mean, it only is better by 1.9, but it just seems like so much better. Big blink forward. There's a relatively expensive Weaver that probably could have been jumped on, but instead we're going to go for supply. We're going to go for workers. This can get... Oh, because it's stunlocked. Oh, did that die, though? I don't think that did die. No, I think that's still alive, honestly. And now we're gonna have to blink these away. I think we're gonna have to recall these away. But maybe it's over? Yeah, it looks like it's over. It only lasts for so long, which makes things a little bit challenging. You can't really just jump on it. I do see the imps, though, dying like at the natural there. The stunlock's actually working really well against the vectors for the weavers and stuff like that. We're trying our best to do these better, but this fight is going significantly better for my friend nightend than game number 2 was, or even earlier in this game, honestly. This is a nice little change up here. Again, we are here, but we're like a little bit more wounded, and this is not really a good place to escape from. You know, like, you want to almost think of these as being used, like I would think of using these defensively. Again, still going well for the Celestial player, but not so well because we're losing we're losing vectors and things like that make this a little bit more challenging. The Infernal player just doing his best to survive, honestly. lower supply, lost some workers over here. And it's so hard to compare. Like, this is the one matchup where it doesn't seem like it makes any sense to me to actually compare worker counts, because the workers, I don't know, they mine just differently. Like, it's completely different. I don't really know how to even kind of look at this per se. But I don't know. The vectors seem interesting. They seem fun. They almost make, like, they have such micro potential. I kind of want to try laddering with Celestial, but I know that there's only, like, there's a fewer amount of players playing, so I'd likely queue into these guys who know what they're doing, and I want to queue into, like, you know, people who don't have their monitors turned on, so I can get a couple of dubs, because life's hard, you know. I don't know. Either way, though, the Weavers are coming in. They are doing their darndest. We also have some Fiends. They're fast. We got some Gaunts, which are infesting. The Weavers are I mean, like, they're slow off creep. Or, sorry, they're slow off of, what do you call it? They're slow off Shroud. So they are slow off Shroud. Nice big stun lock there on the Bruiser. We could continue to stun lock the Pipers. I wonder if you have to cast that automatically, because it doesn't actually count them. Like, I was under the impression that it does, like, an auto cast if it's like 3 supply or more. Perhaps that's not exactly how it works with creep. I'm not sure how it works. The vectors that are coming in now, see, this is going to be a defensive blink. I like this idea. You blink in and then you recall back. Like, that's very defensive. It's going to be able to save you. So that I like this. I like this. I think that makes a lot of sense. That was really well done. We don't really lose anything by Micuki maybe. And we're going to tussle with the Gaunts. No, see, now this, like, that wouldn't be as great, right? Because the blinking back would be towards the unit. So if our opponent kind of, like, followed us, or, like, even just did that, right? It kind of grabs it. So it's not perfect. There's the second one. So that's kind of the challenge or the problem with this playstyle, is that you don't want to, like, be constantly recalling, but you want to kind of recall when it seems like it makes sense in the situation, which I think is obviously the harder part. Like this as well. I mean, not that your opponent's chasing, so I don't think it really matters one way or the other. But I think it always makes sense maybe after the fight to recall them back, because then they get any health that they've lost, which makes sense to me. But I wonder if there's a downside to that. Either way, though, we just took that speed camp, so we're a little bit faster, but Infernal is going to take that back here. We find some of the prisms that are just kind of mining in the middle of nowhere over here. I wonder if there's no closer Therium. I guess this one right here, but instead, for some reason, it's over here. I mean, it's probably not that big of a deal. And we get some creation chambers. They are still warping in. I don't know why we chose not to fight there. Maybe nightend is more looking for the army, or he knows that he's getting, like, not base traded per se, or oh, because he can't make it through. Never mind, I take it back. The Weavers wouldn't have made it through, so clearly that was the correct choice. Looks like Micuki is deciding to just... Oh, we're going to lose a Weaver. Micuki is actually deciding just a base trade, maybe? We haven't set a recall up. Now we've got the recall. But the recall is actually just going to go directly into the Shroud Stone. So that maybe isn't going to be the best bet. And then we're kind of stuck in our opponent's base with the army coming back. I don't really know. I don't know how often, like, what the cooldown is or anything like that. So I don't know how quickly we can kind of recall out, etc., etc. We do a big jump, but now the army's there. So if we try and recall back, we're going to be recalling directly into the army. It might actually create a kind of a flank for us. We're attacking on 2 fronts. But also, as these units die, if we are standing on Shroud, then we're getting more units for our opponents. Micuki, though, unfortunately losing a lot of units. There's some Kree involved in this fight. They do have the roly-poly upgrade, but I think we're mostly just retreating now. Man, the Gaunts are pretty fast with Reaper Rush. They are 4? I guess that's not that fast. I don't think it shows their movement speed. So it's a 25% increase on 4. So is that 5, I guess? It's 5 speed rather than 4? Doesn't seem that fast. I don't really understand how it works. I don't really understand how this game works at all. Sovereign's Rush, though, is out. It's really focusing down one of the Weavers. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you pick this up and fly it away, perhaps? There's no way to save this. Well, maybe that's why. At the same time, holy man, that's a lot of Shroud Stones. So we've really invested into static D from nightend, at least in some of the bases that are hard, or really just on some of the bases, honestly. Let's see, we lose that base, and we also lose a Kree for our trouble. We're just going to stand there and let it explode right at our army. Seems a little bit maybe counterintuitive, but I guess, I mean, it's a flex, right? We're flexing on our opponent that we're able to take that damage and just kind of keep going, keep rolling with the punches, etc., etc. Micuki has decided, oh, he kept this base alive, which is great. We got a strike node, awesome, is great, and Greater Shrine throwing down a couple more meat farms. We got the Twilight Spire as well, taking our own health camp here, switching to Kree and Argent actually. So I think of this more as being like, well, I guess it's similar tier. Maybe it is like tier. It's all tier 1 point something other than the Argent, which is just 1. I'm not sure if the Vector is tier 2. I don't think so, but I never noticed when the Arc Ship and the other things actually start getting upgraded and things like that. And you can have more of them and whatever. They can move around the map and be literally anywhere. I kind of find it a little tricky to find when our Celestial players are actually doing these kind of things and when they are not. We do take the middle Luminite camp, though, which is good for Nightend. Gives them a little bit more income, a bit of passive income. Doesn't actually just generate Luminite periodically, but it doesn't say how much or the, whatever. So that's kind of interesting to take into consideration. I'm going to take a look at the upgrade facilities and see what's going on. I don't really see all that much as of right now. And if we take a look, it seems like we're actually not really upgrading all that much either. I think maybe one thing to consider was B in the same tournament was playing more Vectory styles, and then he switched into Archangels. But that was a series against Vanguard, which I'm not sure if that is going to be like a big difference of a make or break or something like that. Because, of course, you play differently in the different matchups and stuff like that. So I don't know, one thing to think about or take into consideration. I'm not really all that sure. Let's see, we're throwing down a couple more link nodes, presumably immediately turning them into strike nodes. Yes, that does seem like the case. So we are turning them into strike nodes. We are coming in and, I don't know, getting pushed away by, oh my god, the absolutely gigantic static D. So this is so much static D from my friend Nightend. Micuki's got a pretty low supply disadvantage here, unfortunately. Nightend's got a big supply advantage, and if you think about it with the Shroud Stones and stuff, it would be even higher, presumably. Man, we only have a small amount of Argents with literally no upgrades. And we only have the one upgrade from... We only have the one upgrade from Celestial. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it seems... Well, it's a macro game, I guess. Seems like a macro game. I was also thinking that maybe Infernal's been a little bit too free to expand. We haven't been able to punish these or delay them, mostly just because of the intense static defense that has been used in this situation. Let's see, we're going to take the creep camp. The Mastiffs are significantly more powerful, of course, because they are level 3. So we're going to be able to do a little bit more damage. We're going to continue on at the same time. Spriggans coming out of nowhere, actually. A huge number of them, too. I didn't even notice. A gigantic number of Spriggans starting to do a lot of damage. In terms of what shoots up, I don't even... Vectors, I think I've done this before. Yeah, Vectors shoot up and they do extra damage against light, and these things do extra damage against heavy. Yeah, I've got to remind myself of these things. So I guess this is a good time for Nightend, but we are kind of splitting our army. I don't know why we didn't send all the Kree around. I mean, I don't really... Oh, I guess they don't actually attack. Well, they don't attack up, so if we run into Spriggans, that's not going to be great. At the same time, the Infernal Army is on the right side of the map, cleaning up some of our Celestial player. Let's see, he's solidified his army and is maybe deciding to go... I don't really know what you do here. Do you do a full-on base trade? Do you try and fight the army? Because it does seem like without the Spriggans, you might be able to win the fight. Big recall forward, big blink forward, whatever. Lots of yoinks and abducts. This is going to be the big fight that maybe will end the game. If we can somehow clear all of Infernal's... even if we cleared the Infernal Army, I'm not really sure. We have so much more resources. Yeah, I don't know. GG gets called. Micuki falls, but it was a very interesting series. See you guys in the next one.